Okay, I think we're rolling. Hey everybody, got my InfoWars Trump is my president shirt on because it's my day off. Any day I don't have to work, I always wear something Trump related. If it's on a shirt, a pin, or my MAGA hat or something. But I want to talk a little bit about two subjects. I don't know, they're not really that related, but the NFL boycott and this Harvey Weinstein or Weinstein or whatever the hell his name is. I'm going to start off talking about the NFL thing. First of all, I don't give a damn about the NFL. I've never seen a football game in my entire life. I'm in my mid-30s. I've never seen a football game. We have a TV in my break room at my work, and I think if there's a football game on in there, I'll watch 5-10 minutes of a football game. I think that's the longest I've ever seen a football game in my life. So, I guess you could say I've boycotted the NFL my whole life. All sports. I don't watch any sports. The baseball, the World Series is okay. And I actually don't mind the Olympics. I don't care. I think it's kind of interesting. But yeah, I don't watch any kind of pro sports. So the NFL boycott doesn't really matter to me. But I know these players who don't want to stand for the national anthem. I mean, it is sort of, I don't know, it's kind of like they have a right to protest and kneel. I mean, it is extremely disrespectful to do that. I mean, everyone knows they are kneeling to protest President Trump. I mean, come on, get real, will you? Everyone knows why they're kneeling. They say it's because of black people basically falling victim to the police, I guess, but it's not really so, because it's a known fact that I've heard it's actually Native Americans, because there's not that many Native Americans that are Native Indians, I suppose, the indigenous people of America, that it's actually a higher likelihood that they're going to be killed by the police, because there's so few that, you know, when something happens, when one of them are killed by the police, you know, it's, of course, they have the highest percentage. And I think right behind them is white people. But white people getting killed by the police isn't news. I mean, the establishment and the globalists controlled media, they can't, you know, push a race war with something like that. They can push it if they make it sound like all black people are being victimized by the police. But yeah, the NFL the guys kneeling, the players kneeling. If they only knew how stupid they look. Like this Colin Kaepernick guy. I didn't even know who the man was until he was kneeling. So it's kind of weird. Like they're making themselves famous for basically hating their country. Like I said, I never heard of the man. And all these other players kneeling. There is no place else on earth any of those guys could make that money. Nowhere else on earth, no other time in history where they could make that kind of money chasing around a goddamn ball than right now today in the United States. There's no place. Nowhere exists. So these guys just make this astronomical amount of money. And then the people that own the NFL are, I don't know, billionaires? I mean, who in the hell can afford to pay an entire team? See anybody peeking that window while I'm standing here, let me know. Paying a whole entire team of guys, what do they make, $35 million a year? These damn thugs, they're just the epitome of all human garbage. They're football players. They're here to strictly entertain us. No one wants to hear their politics, just like all these Hollywood lowlifes. Nobody wants to hear what they have to say. Jimmy Kimmel and all these late night hosts crying around because basically it's just because they don't like Donald Trump. It's all because they don't like Donald Trump. That's all it is. It's not for any other reason. They can go ahead and say that these players are kneeling because of black people being the victims of the police, but I stand at the higher chance of being a victim of the police than black people do. That's a fact. It's just strictly, they're just falling victim, enslaving themselves to a globalist liberal, socialist, America-hating, agenda. That's all it is. So yeah, like I said, I don't watch football. I don't care about football. They said these guys kneeling, it's costing what they're down like viewing is down 30%. It's down 51% recently or something. It's just they're losing a ton. So the NFL is going to be bankrupt within 3 years if these lazy, stupid, low-life players don't start standing for the national anthem, which is strange because I think they have a right to kneel for the national anthem. But if they only knew how stupid they look and how little they are now respected. I never respected them because I don't like sports. But now I like these people who are all these die-hard football fanatics are now not watching the NFL. I just think that's just incredible. It's just sports and football are just the biggest waste of time and energy and money. Sitting there, these like grown men carrying around folders, going on with their fantasy football teams. They know more about these players and their stats than they do. They know more about them than they do their own kids. It's just like it's NFL and sports. Football is like a religion. It's just insane. It's disgusting. But like I said, that's for myself. I just don't watch it. I know everybody's into football. I'm probably the only person on earth who doesn't like football. If you're into football, that's fine. Just don't let it control you. Just make sure it's just, like an interest. All right? Make sure it's not like a religion. Just make sure it's an interest. Interests are fine. Just make sure it's not a hobby. Hobbies cost money. Interests are free. And if you're boycotting the NFL, that's your right too. You have a right to boycott it. But still, I think these players are just, like I said, there's no place else on earth they can make that kind of money chasing after a ball than right here in the United States. If it wasn't for the NFL, every single one of those guys in the NFL would be serving life sentences in prison for something. Every one of them they're getting nailed for drugs, for beating their wives, for dog fighting, for having violent outbursts. They're just a bunch of human garbage. Let them go bankrupt. Good. Doesn't bother me. Maybe, the men in this country will start focusing on things that matter than focusing on these goddamn sports all day. And the second thing is this Harvey Weinstein guy I want to talk about. The media, I think, is really pissed that they cannot pin this pervert somehow to Donald Trump. It's like a weird, if you watch the news, it's like a strange, like you get that weird feeling. It's like they're hesitant to talk about it unless they can pin it on Donald Trump. Like somehow correlate this guy or, in relation to Donald Trump somehow. But I'm pretty sure there's a picture of this guy with Hillary Clinton. I think that picture's out there. I think he donated a massive amount of money to her campaign. But, this guy has numerous women who are accusing him of this. Could some of these women be lying? Well, of course. Absolutely. I have a whole video on men who are falsely accused. I think false accusations against men, I think it's become like an epidemic in this country. A pandemic. Because I think 45% of men accused of those types of allegations are not guilty. I think that's what the statistics show. But I don't know. The guy's he's already borderline admitted to doing it, and he's gotten fired from his company and all that. I do think that he's just one of many in Hollywood who are into that, because all of Hollywood, they're all basically these pervert Satan worshipers. All this trash. Even all these late night hosts and stuff. They might be okay on the surface, but they're pushing a socialist agenda, which will eventually, speed up your journey towards death. That's all socialism will do for you. And they're taking orders from these, fat cats in the office, telling them what they can say and what they can't say, selling out, blatantly on TV every damn night, just taking steamy diarrhea dumps all over the president of the United States, my president, who I voted for. And but yeah, all these Hollywood people, they're all corrupt. They all think the same way, but they're going after Weinstein, I think, because he runs a big production company, and I think they want to take his company away from him and basically sell it to the Chinese to start pushing Chinese-style propaganda here in the United States in the movies. I saw that movie, The Martian, with Matt Damon, and it's a cool movie. I mean, it's pretty cool, you know. But I don't. If you haven't seen the movie yet, if you're going to see it, you might want to watch this video after you watch the movie. But at the end of the movie, he's saved by China, basically. If you watch it, it's not a big scene, but it's there. Oh, they got to go to go to the Chinese and China, and you know, like they're like these. I don't know, like the Chinese are like these big elitists, like big shots who have like all this like divine technology that can like save anybody from anything. If you just make your country communist like the Chinese, then you'll be great too. Because you can really, really pick it up. Like I said, the movie, it's a good movie, but yeah, you can pick that up. Like, oh, like I guess we better help this poor, you know, little capitalist free market American with our big, amazing communist equipment or whatever. So basically, yeah, they got to go running crying to China at the end of that movie so they can get some kind of equipment from the Chinese, only the Chinese have, because they're commies, to save this guy stuck on Mars. But yeah, I do think they're probably, like this Weinstein guy, they're just turning their backs. You got all these feminists. Oh man, you know, I'm not good with all these Hollywood names. I don't even watch many Hollywood movies anymore. But basically, these big feminist Hollywood actresses who thought he was just wonderful. Ashley Judd. And I don't know if the other name pops in my mind, I'll let you know. Glenn Close? I think that was her. Yeah, Glenn Close. But anyway, like these huge Trump-hating, feminist, liberal women who just crap on Trump and, you know, accuse him of all these horrible things that they basically just create in their mind that don't actually exist. These horrible accusations against him. You know, saying wonderful things about this Harvey Weinstein character. Like I said, him too. Like Colin Kaepernick and Harvey Weinstein, I never even heard of them until, you know, they do something stupid and then they're famous. Like, I don't know who the hell they are. Colin Kaepernick, who the hell is that? Harvey Weinstein. Like I said, just entertain us and shut up. But I guess this Weinstein character, I don't think that him being all over in the public eye now is really his choice. You know, but yeah, but like I said, some of these women could be making it up. Just like the Cosby accusations, I think some of those women could be making it up too. Like, are you girls sure that, you know, all these women were raped and, you know, drugged and raped by Bill Cosby? You sure? You sure maybe you didn't just get drunk and high and fuck Bill Cosby? You know, maybe some of these gals could try a little bit of good old-fashioned self-responsibility. But, like this Weinstein character, I don't know. I mean, yeah, the guy's, you know, he's probably some kind of, he's in Hollywood, he's rich, he's a fat cat. You know, he's probably guilty of some shady stuff. But, like I said, everybody in Hollywood is like that. Everybody, all these big behind the scenes, these producers and stuff. Like these perverts that run all the Disney kid shows and that. But, yeah, I think mostly they just want to get this guy out of the way so they can sell his production company to the Chinese. I really think that's their main goal. Because the globalists will always try to use a sexual allegation or an accusation of racism to destroy you. Like when Donald Trump was running, like I knew they were going to try to hit him with something. Either something racist, you know, him dropping the N-bomb during a phone conference or something in 1985. You know, something like that. Not that no. I just figured it'd either be something stupid like that, or it'd be some kind of sexual crap. Well, they went with the sexual crap. That nonsense with him cutting a joke with Billy Bush on a bus, which was just, it's kind of weird because I knew he was joking. That's just, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, just the way guys are. He's just joking around. You know, why don't they talk about the things that Hillary said? She said horrible things. You know, screaming the N-word at the guy working in the cafeteria when Bill was in office, and horrible things for Secret Service agents. Just horrible. She is a nasty woman. But yeah, they went with this stuff for Trump. Of course, the American people, thank God, are smart enough to know when they're being played, thankfully to the internet and shows like InfoWars and that. You know, knew that he was just, an old fart just joking around, but that's really all they had on him. Just a bunch of nonsense. But yeah. So anyway, so this Weinstein guy is some kind of a creep. But like I said, they're going after him for some reason because they want to get him out of the way so they can turn his company over to, basically the Chinese propagandists. They want to start creating Chinese-style propaganda here in the United States. Basically to turn us communist, turn us socialist. Because right now we have free market capitalism. It sits a little below the government, and them are all the business owners. The little shops and the mom and pop places. Some of the bigger businesses that aren't that big. Maybe a guy makes, a business might make $50 million a year. They're rich and they do well. And then above them, you've got our politicians. You've got everybody in the Congress and the Senate. The president, which is why they're trashing on him so much, because they're scared shitless of him, because he's a real freaking deal and he's not corrupt. And then above him, or well, not above him, above the government now, you have the super elites. And this is like the DuPonts, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Bush family, like J.P. Morgan, the Morgan family. Maybe, I'm sure there's other ones up there. These super elites. And they have all the wealth in the world. If they need, they own the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is just a bank. It's centralized banking. So they control if they want money, they'll just make more money. That's what they do. Literally print money. You can just do what you want because you control the currency. And they do it in all these countries in the world. That's why you're told to hate North Korea and Iran, because they don't have a Rothschild centralized bank. That's why we went into Iraq and Afghanistan. Why we were going to go into Syria. That's why we went into Libya, because Gaddafi wanted to go back to the gold standard. I'm not saying these countries are angels. These countries, they're a bunch of sleaze too, run by a bunch of tyrants and sleaze. But the super elites don't care about that. They want power. They don't care if you're like the president of China. The guy's a monster. But he plays ball with the globalists. They let him bring shit over here, and he's allowed to sell shit over here. And he's communist, so he gets all the profit of all the businesses and all that. So he's okay with them. Or they're okay with him, rather. But, okay, I'm digressing a little bit, so I'm going to try to wrap it up. But, yeah, then the super elites that control the government, they want a socialist government, because the socialist government will knock out all the little businesses. They'll control the medicine, the education. They'll control the food supply, the water supply. They control, your clothes, if you can buy a car, how many kids you can have. If they can get the government to control all that and knock out all these small businesses, the guy trying to run a plumbing business and the guy trying to run like a small store or something, and even these guys might be millionaires. They might be rich. These mom and pop places, a lot of people become millionaires off of businesses like that. First of all, if they become socialists, all those businesses will be knocked out. They'll be gone, and the government will control everything. Well, who controls the government? The super elites. See that? So that's why you don't want socialism or communism. Socialism and communism are the same exact thing. Don't let anybody fool you. Democratic socialism, it's communism. That's all it is. It is a fraudulent government set up to destroy countries, to destroy people. Read George Orwell's 1984. I just read it recently a few months ago. It's brilliant. It's amazing. So, yeah, but basically that's what they're trying to do in correlation with this Weinstein character. You know, they want to bit by bit do anything and everything to move heaven and earth to push communism in this country, destroy free market capitalism, which works amazing, so the super elites can basically control the world more than they already do. You know, they already control the medicine and all that. Nothing is free. Somebody has to pay for it. And the rich and the poor don't pay taxes. So that's when, you know, middle class people like you and me got to pay taxes. But I am going to label this video a MGTOW video. So, yeah, when you're a MGTOW, you're just more awake than other people. We don't watch much football. You don't watch much Hollywood stuff. You know, that's one of the reasons I'm making this video. So, all right. Hopefully I don't bore you too much. I'm pushing towards 22 minutes, so I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you very much for watching. This is Arctis Bouchard. Please like and subscribe. I'll catch you later.